Okay, so there's two postures that will help to just improve the stretch in your back and also to lengthen the hamstrings, or the very first two standing postures. They're called Padangustasana and then Padahastasana, hands to feet. So they help to stretch the low back, they help to lengthen the hamstrings, and it'll just be a nice good stretch. So you should incorporate this with your sun salutations if you can as you practice. So hands to the hips, inhale, gaze up. Exhale, bow forward. You can always bend the knees and grab onto the toes. Peace fingers in between the first and second toe. If the legs can be straight, that's terrific. You're squeezing the thigh muscles, stretching the sit bones back, and drawing the thigh bone up into the hip socket. A little inhale, pulling on the toes, lift the chest, pull the belly in. Exhale, melt your belly and chest over your thighs. And your gaze is toward the tip of the nose. So you just gently pull on the toes, but take your shoulder position away from the ears, hug the low belly in, and take 5 breaths here. Trying to straighten the legs, trying to lift the sit bones up. You're trying not to pull your toes off. Transition into the next one. Inhale, lift the chest up, and then Padahastasana, you slide your hands all the way underneath your feet, and you try to bend the knees a little bit, but you want the palms nice and flat. Heels are down, and your heels are just right underneath your hip bones. You can see the heels are directly underneath the hips. It's going to feel a little awkward, but just roll forward a couple times. You can bend the knees. Inhale, try to lift the chest, shoulder position slides back. Exhale, hug the low belly in. It's like you're emptying your belly. There's no belly. You're just rolling forward like a wheel. And as you come down, try to spread the upper back open. So it's closing. Try to open it and spread through the collarbones. The elbows will kind of come out to the side, and you take 5 breaths here, just in and out through the nostrils. So it's a deep breath from the bottom of your lungs all the way to the top. When you exhale, it's like you're creating an H-A-ha sound through the back of the throat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release the hands and place them on your hips. You can always bend the knees a little bit if the legs are a little bit, or the hamstrings are a little tight, but you want to try to keep straight leg position. On the inhale, you suck the belly in, squeezing your legs, and come up nice and strong. That's how you strengthen the low back. And then feet together, arms at your sides. Okay? So the next one we'll do is another stretch for the back. It's called Prasarita. Prasarita Padottanasana. It's just a wide forward fold, and it's in the standing series of the Ashtanga practice. But these postures can be done once you've warmed up and you've done about 5 or 6 sun salutations, letter A. Okay, you can do as many as you want once you start to get a little bit stronger. Inhale, arms out to the sides. The legs are nice and strong. Toes are pointed in. Hug the low belly in. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, just gaze up. Exhale, pull the belly in. Fold forward at the waist. Legs are super strong. And then place the palms on the mat. You can always bend the knees, but you want to try to squeeze the legs and then just let the upper body come down as it is. If your hands don't reach the floor, just use fingertips. Okay? You can bring your hands down on the floor. On the exhale breath, pull the belly in and bend the elbows and try to stretch down from the waist. So you're creating a little shelf with the arms eventually, and you're trying to stretch the spine down nice and long. You take 5 breaths here. Okay? So try not to bend the knees just to get the hands on the floor. Keeping the legs nice and straight, coming down, and then the hands will just go where they are. And eventually you'll start to get down a little further, but you're strengthening the back of the thighs, you're stretching the back of the thighs, you're stretching the whole back sacrum open and lengthening there. Okay, so once you find that 5 breaths there, inhale, lift. Exhale, hands to hips. You're squeezing the legs nice and tight. Inhale, rise up. Okay, so we'll try that again with just another variation to stretch the back and the shoulders. Here. Inhale, arms out to the side. Exhale, hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers if you can. Try to get your hands together, palms together. Inhale, take a little back bend, lift the chest up and look back. Exhale, suck the belly in. Again, bow forward, 5 breaths here. So this one's gonna feel like you're rolling forward, but just keep using your strong thighs. Pull the thigh muscles up off the kneecaps and roll forward. Eventually, you're gonna loosen the shoulders and your arms are gonna relax on the floor. You're trying to stretch down from the waist. Always just come to your breath. You wanna find that inner calmness. If you bend the knees a little bit, that's okay till the hamstrings loosen up. Eventually the legs will go straight. After the 5 breath, on the inhale, pull the belly in and come on up. And then step the feet together, hands at the heart. Okay, Samastiti. Okay, so we'll do one more. The next one is just to strengthen the core and also to stretch the hips. So you'll take downward facing dog position, right? And this is the order that you can do these in. 5 sun salutations, letter A, and then you can do any of these postures because you'll be nice and warm. It should be about a 30-minute practice. Spread the fingers, spread the palms, spread the toes. In downward facing dog position, it's a good way to just stretch. So you can stay here for 5 to 10 breaths. Shoulder position down and away from the ears, belly pulls up and in, and you're trying to lift the sit bones up, hug the thighs toward the midline, and even just kind of relax the gaze, relax through the neck and the shoulders. Okay, so the shoulders will come in, open the shoulders up to get nice and strong. Breathe in, breathe out. So to strengthen the core and use this as a place to work the strength, you're going to inhale and pull the right knee up and try to bring it up into the armpit or the tricep. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, pull the belly in, round the upper back. Touch the tricep or the armpit. Exhale, right back. Okay? So you can do about 5 or 6 of these. The inhale, you come forward. You're pressing into your hands and rounding your back. Exhale, downward facing dog. The most common thing is you're gonna feel the shoulders going in. You wanna keep the shoulder position out so that you have nice strong shoulders and nice foundation. So I'll go through about 4 rounds like that so you can hear the breath and you can see the position of the shoulders. But you really want to suck the belly in and hold it in, but keep the breath flowing. So inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And when you're done, you're going to want to come down onto the knees. Sink the hips back. And take a nice child's pose for 5 breaths. The shoulders might be a little sore. You can bring the arms along the side body. And just pull your belly in and round forward. And that's child's pose. It's a good resting place for any posture that you do, or even just to calm yourself at the end of the day. When you come home, you can get on your mat. You can always begin there as well. Okay, so we'll do one more for this video. And this is just to stretch the hip flexors. Right? And it's all tied into the low back, so if you have tight hips and a tight back, this is a great posture. It's called pigeon. So just to prep, you're going to put the weight in the left heel and raise the right toes up as high as you can. Bend the knee and just let your hip open up. So you're just kind of stretching and twisting, getting your whole spine nice and loose. On your exhale, pull the belly in. You're still using your core, just like you did when you were doing those core exercises, and you're going to place your right knee toward the right wrist. So that might be easier said than done at first. So you want to engage the belly and stretch it to the toes. The back toes are lifting you up, okay? Once you come up on the back toes, you can wiggle your hips right and left, just to try to get a nice stretch. And you should feel it in your right outside hip, your right outside thigh. You want to relax your knee. You don't want to keep the knee tight. You want to just let it become nice and loose. And then the back knee can come down. Inhale, push into your fingertips, lift your chest, gaze up. Exhale, start to pull the belly in, and you can start to bring the chest down. Once you come down, you can just take this as a resting posture. Just bring your forehead down and stay here for 5 breaths. And I'll just do it on the other side. When you come up, push into your hands, dig your back toes in, and then press right back through to downward facing dog, just to stretch everything out. Ground your right heel, then you start on the left side, reach the left leg up, bend the knee, just open the hip. Eventually, when you start to feel a little bit more loose and comfortable, you can turn this into a back bend. Stay with 5 breaths. Come back. Stretch those left toes up. And then pull the belly in. And just come onto that left knee. So you just want to relax on the left side. Just rock the hips a few times till you can feel that stretch. Try to get your shoulders and your hips kind of squared off toward the front of your mat. Right, so if the right hip is back, pull it forward. If the left hip is too far forward, pull it back. So you're just trying to level shoulders and hips. Inhale, press into your fingertips, lift the gaze, look up. Exhale, pull the belly in and just go down to your elbows. You can always interlace your fingers and just make a nice little resting spot for your head. Eventually, you want to try to relax as much as possible in the knee, in the hip. And just bring the forehead down. That, you can finish up with a neat, nice seated position and come into meditation, right? Just cross-legged. If you want to try to stack the knees and the ankles, it's a good stretch for the hips. If not, just cross the legs wherever you are, okay? Just a comfortable position with the legs. If you want to go a little further, you can try lotus. So lotus is just a traditional Padmasana, they call it, and Ashtanga, and it's just good for the knees, good for the hips. And eventually, you can just bring one leg up, maybe take 5 breaths here. If that's okay, then you can bring the other leg up. When the other leg comes up, you want to just sit as comfortable as you can with a nice long spine, shoulders away from your ears, and just close the eyes and take 5 breaths here. Finish. Final rest is always Shavasana. So you just want to stretch out on the mat. Bring the arms along the side body. Close the eyes. just take final rest, maybe 3 to 5 minutes. And to come out of your Shavasana, you still want to come out being a little mindful, so you can bring your arms over to your side or over the top of your head. Just gently roll onto your side. And then come up nice and slow.